Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the world-renowned violinist Midori.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm very, very pleased to be here with you this evening. And I'm greatly honored to be asked to participate in tonight's wonderful gala and tribute to my great friend and musical guru, Zubin Mehta. For many years, I have enjoyed a close relationship with the Mehta family, both personal and professional. I first met Zubin about 28 years ago in New York in 1982. Back in those days, I had no idea what this meant, to be able to talk to this great, wonderful maestro. It was pure luck and a beginning of a long and happy friendship with this great, kind person. I could, of course, talk about the wonderful concerts and the recordings we've had together, and the fun and the challenges of those. But really, what means the most to me is everything in between such work. Zubin is an artist and a leader like no other. He thrives in perpetual motion. But it is not that he is ever consumed by it. He is always thinking of others and the bigger picture first, one of his great qualities that I have experienced firsthand. Zubin's 4 decades with the Israel Philharmonic Orchestra are a testament to his enduring commitment to his beloved friends and musicians and his unwavering support for meaningful endeavors. Thank you, Zubin, for all you have done for artists like me and for music all over the world.
Hi, I'm Irwin Winkler, and that's Zubin Mehta. You know, Zubin, I was going to have a whole bunch of introductory remarks saying how great a conductor you are and what a great friend of the Israeli Philharmonic you are, but everybody just said it already, so, and I know you punched me when the last time somebody said something nice about you. So I won't say much about the fact that you've been a conductor of so many orchestras, starting with the Montreal Symphony and the Los Angeles Philharmonic, and now, of course, the Israeli Philharmonic for Life. So I won't talk about anything like that. But I will say I had a great time reading your book. Zubin wrote a book called The Score of My Life, which is an autobiography.
Are you selling the book here?
We're outside, we're going to have you sign all these copies. But actually, we're here to really do just a little conversation between ourselves and the audience after a while. And I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. And I guess the first one is, how does a Farsi from Mumbai end up with a bunch of Israeli great musicians? How do you get from there to here?
I guess you have to read the book. Now, the bridge between all this is my father. Mm-hmm. My father was the real miracle because he had no background of Western culture in his family. My grandfather was the director of a cotton mill in Bombay, pure schmatis, and although my grandparents were, of course, very supportive of my father, they would come to the concerts, they had no idea what they were listening to. That's as far away from Western culture that generation was. And it was my father who heard Yasha Heifetz passing through Bombay in 1927 or 28. And as a teenager, he heard this incredible violinist. He didn't know that this was the greatest violinist of all time. This it was a ship that passed through Bombay, and somebody asked him to play a recital on his way to, I think, Shanghai. And that afternoon, my father went to a tennis match of Big Bill Tilden playing Henri Cochet.
Oh my God.
And saw Heifetz sitting there before his recital. And he couldn't believe that violin playing could be so easy, that you could go to a tennis match and in the evening play Paganini's violin concerto. So he bought himself a violin and started teaching himself. And he was a self-taught violinist, and he played Beethoven's violin concerto.
Did he have records or what?
Yes. And then Jan Kubelik was the father of Raphael Kubelik.
Right.
He came through Bombay. Ephraim Zimbalist, who founded the Curtis Institute of Music. So the ships going to the Orient, stopping over in Bombay, brought quite a few musicians, including an Italian opera company called the Carl Rosa Company that was founded in England, and they would give operatic performances with pianos. And so in the late 1920s, my father had this incredible communication with the culture of the West. Plus there were English amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
After that came the influx of Jewish refugees. And all these Jewish refugees, especially from Central Europe, whether they were doctors or lawyers or engineers, they played chamber music at home. Mm-hmm. That was the great tradition of Central Europe, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. And so he got to know them, and playing chamber music with them, with these European amateurs. He then started the orchestra in Bombay in 1935.
So then
that was my connection. I had no...
So you grew up listening to all the...
Yes, I just had it free of charge at home.
So he actually rehearsed and played at your house?
He got sections of the orchestra to rehearse in my house, and I helped later on by writing in bowings, in the parts, in the string parts, and sometimes transposing, because we didn't have all the instruments. We didn't have sometimes 4 horns, so there would be 2 French horns and 2 saxophones. So I would sit and transpose, because saxophones play in different keys. So I had a good sort of training at home also.
But was there a specific moment when you knew that music was your life? I'm sure your family...
well, I always grew up with it, but after doing 2 semesters of pre-med school in Bombay at a Jesuit college, I knew that was not for me. Das geht nicht und das passt nicht.